So welcome back to everyone. And do you have any doubts in data bases? Because we are going to start web servers from today. Okay. Do you have any doubt? Please ask me.
No, sir. As we are work on it, so if we do have any doubts, we'll definitely let you know, sir.
Can you repeat one more, please? There is some network fluctuation. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. At present, I don't have any doubts. If any doubts come, we'll definitely let you know, sir.
Yeah, sure. Okay. And okay. So let's start the web servers. Okay. So we have different types of server softwares. Okay, so if you go with a database, we have database servers, and if you go with web, we have web servers, and uh, if you go with email, we have email servers, and if you want to transport your files, we have FTP servers. Okay, so server is nothing but it's just a software. Okay, so we can install uh, in our system also. Okay, so the server, it helps to uh, the database server, it helps to collect the databases and stored in, then it gives a communication, or it gives a path to communicate with database, right? So web server also same. Web server is, as many of them already know, I think so. Okay, so web server are is used to web server is used to or using to publish your web pages. Okay, so the web servers are using to publish your web pages and host your web pages. Okay, so let's see what is web server, and some web server techniques like web scraping, and what is JSON files. Okay, so in this chapter we are going to see these kind of topics. Okay, so let's start. So what is a web server? Okay, a server is a computer that provides data to other computers. That's all. So we have uh, client and server system, right? So server is a parent and client is a child. Okay, so a server is a computer that provides the data to other, provides and also gets the data from other computers. Okay, so the entire structure of the internet is based upon a client server model. Okay, so client, so we are the clients. Okay, so if you are taking Google, we are the clients, Google is a server, right? So if you go with any browser like Chrome and Ping, uh, that's a search engine. Okay, and Mozilla Firefox, those are the servers and we are the clients. Okay, so the entire structure is made up of client and server model. Okay, So web server helps to deliver web content that can be accessed through the internet. Okay, so the most common use of web server is to host your websites in servers. Okay, so it helps to host your websites, and we have a lot of servers. Okay, so recently Amazon also provide a server space for renting. Okay, so it like AWS. Okay, so AWS is used to give or they are providing server spaces. Okay, so we can store, or we can store our database, and we can store our codes. Okay, so in AWS, okay, so they are collecting some money for server maintenance and publishing your web pages. Okay, so they collect some for like rent. Okay, so the most common use that is to host your websites. And the internet is not only used to fetch the information, but there are other uses such as gaming, data storage, your Android applications and Windows applications. Okay, and running business applications. Okay, and this is your client and server model. Okay, so the clients are mobile phones, and we are the clients, right? So we have a mobile phone, laptop, PC, and tablets. Okay, we are accessing the browsers, right? So the browsers are servers. Okay, so these are the clients, and clients, it goes with internet and to the web server. The web server has JSP, that JavaScript files and JSON files. Okay, so it helps to feed into your database, and it can retrieve your data from your database, and also processing the data and deliver into your screen. Okay, so in the HTML format or a bootstrap, say with the CSS. Okay, and what is server software? So web server, commonly known as HTTP server, okay, so or application server. Okay, it's a program that serves content using the HTTP protocol, and this content is generally in the form of HTML documents. Okay, that is images and other web resources, but can include any type of file like docs, um, MP4, video files and audio files. Okay, the content served by the web server can be pre-existing, that is static content, or generated on the fly. Fly means a dynamic content. Okay, so static and dynamic. Static, uh, the example which we have seen in our SQL, right? So we have created put, what is that? Yeah, customer, sorry, student attendance by using pivot table, on static pivot table and dynamic pivot table, right? So static means we have not the way, that's a standard web pages. Okay, so we cannot see the graphics and Java scripts like that. Okay, so the dynamic content means it automatically changes, like scroll, browse, and uh, images. It's some of web applications and some of web pages playing their videos on their home pages like that. Okay, they are all dynamic content. Okay, so we have some web servers. The most popularly using Apache web server. Okay, the HTTP web server, and the Apache web server foundation developed the free and open source web server. Okay, so and can be installed and made to work on almost all operating system, include Linux, Unix, Windows, FreeBSD, Mac OS, that is MacBook. Oh, almost 60% of the web server machines run the web servers, Apache web server. Okay, so we also have Apache Tomcat. Okay, so the Apache Tomcat is free and open source web server. Okay, that can run on different operating system also, Linux, Unix. This also run in different operating system, and it was developed to support servlets and JSP scripts. Okay, it can serve as a standalone server. Okay, so next, so services provided by the servers. What are the services the servers have provided? Okay, so today many servers are being provided by the web server. Okay, many of the server are based on cloud computing. Okay, so like AWS, and which is popular amongst the researchers, scientists, and entrepreneurs, right? So cloud computing is distributing over a network and has the ability to run a program or application on many connected computers at the same time. Okay, so you can access or you can combine more computers at the same times. You can fetch the data from two or more computer, and you can also feed the data into two or more computers at the same time. Okay, so it is used where various computing concepts that involve a large number of computers, okay, so are connected via real-time communication and real-time communication networks such as the internet. Okay, so the various services provided by the web server are, okay, so services means the merits. Okay, so the cost efficient resource sharing. Cost efficient means the web server is the most cost efficient method to use. Okay, so maintain and upgrade. So traditional desktop software cost companies a lot in terms of finance. Like if you go with Photoshop and Corel Draw, okay, so the Photoshop is quite popular, right? So Photoshop, we have to pay 1 lakh for single user in every year. Okay, so we have to pay 1 lakh for a single user in every year, right? So if you're comparing with Photoshop, web servers are most cheaper. Okay, so on the other hand, it is available at much cheaper rates. Besides, there are many one time payments. Okay, so Photoshops, we have to renew the license by each year. Okay, and here the many web servers are single time payment. Okay, so you can buy at the single time, right? So you can have not pay any money after your purchase. But if you go with Photoshop, CorelDRAW, and some ERP softwares, you have to buy a license for each year. Okay, and the simple concept, if you uh, go with Kaspersky and K7, that is that all the antivirus software, right? So you have to pay the year subscriptions, right? So in each year we have to pay 400 or 500 for a license. Okay, and compare with them, it is more cheaper. Okay, and resource sharing. So web server has the capability to store unlimited information such as Google Drives, cloud computing, and etc. Okay, so the space where the data can be stored is shared by the other users. Okay, you can share your Google Drive documents into your friends and colleagues. Okay, you can share your Google Drive documents and cloud storage also. Okay, so at the same time, like hard disk can be shared on physical network as LAN. Okay, so if you are connecting two or more systems in LAN, you can easily access your colleague system, your friend system. Okay, so by local area network, right? So then data sharing. So with the help of web servers, one can easily access the information from anywhere where there is an internet connection using Google Docs, such as documents, Excel sheets, drawings, PowerPoints, presentation, etc. And we have BNC viewer and team viewer. Okay, these softwares are helps to take your colleague system remotely, and you can control your system by your phone and team viewer. Okay, these are the advantages, right? So backup and recovery. So as all the data nowadays is stored on web servers. Okay, so backing it up and restoring the same is relatively much easier than shorting the same on a physical device. Okay, so if you are plug your hard disk and copy every data into your hard disk, okay, it takes too much time, right? So you can easily store your data, and you can easily upload your data. The uploading process is depends upon your data speed, right? And next, so types of servers. We have some types. Okay, so mail server, application server, and web server, database server, and FTP servers. Okay, so let's see what are the types. So mail server. Mail server provides a centrally located pool of disk space for network users to store and share various documents in the form of emails. Okay, so if you're taking any companies, they are having their own email extensions, right? So they are having their own email extensions. Okay, so the reason, so they are having the mail server software in their server system. Okay, so they can easily create their own extension by using mail server software. Okay, so since all the data is stored in one location and administrator need only backup files from one computer to another somewhere they want. Okay, an application server acts as a set of components accessible to the software developer, so through an API. Okay, so application protocol interface, right, and defined by the platform itself. For web applications, these components are usually performed in the same running environment, okay, as its web servers. So and their main job is to support the construction of dynamic pages. Okay, so if you are taking dynamic pages, the APIs are plays major role. Okay, next, and the file transfer protocol, that's also a server. Okay, the FTPs are used to or using to copy your files and deleting your files, and you can copy from one system to another system. You can copy from one place to another place by using FTP server. Okay, so the FTP uses separate control and data connections between the client and to the server. So FTP users may authenticate themselves in the form of a username and password, right? So but can connect if the server is configured to allow it, right? So for secure transmission, username and password must be encrypted using FTP and SSL. Okay, so in FTP, we can access the files and images and also the music and audio files what the server system has or have, right? So we can access by my system into server system. Okay, so by using that we must use username password. Okay, so for the security purpose, if you are not using username password, and anyone can easily access your servers, and they can easily damage your servers, right? So the FTP is used to give a protocol for file transfer, and it gives usernames and password for accessing your server files, and files means docs and your databases and your music and audio sources. Okay, so the database server, so we have know already, right? And database server, a database server is a computer program that provides database services, right, to other computer program or computer using client server functionality, right? And some DBMS, that is database management system, and MS SQL, Microsoft SQL, we are using SSMS, right? So both are same, the name is different, that's all. Okay, so for example, MySQL, MSQL, and MongoDB, SQLite is a database only. It's not a software. Okay. So and depend on the client server model for a database access. Such a server is accessed either through a front end. Okay. Through a front end, we can access the server by using front ends, and we can also have backend programs. The backend programs are PHP, Java, and Python. Okay, those are back .NET, and those are backend programs, and the backends and front end programs are HTML, CSS, Bootstrap. Those are all front ends. Okay, so Bootstrap is a part of HTML. That's all. Such a server is accessed either through a front end and running on the user's computer, where the request is made, or the back end. Okay, so where the request is solved, such as data analysis and storage. That's all. Okay, then a domain name system server. Okay, so DNS, in each system having DNS server, right? So DNS server is a computer server that hosts a network service for providing response to queries. Okay, so we can make queries to block some sites from my computer. Okay, so it maps a numeric identification or addressing component. This service is performed by the server in response to a network service protocol. Okay, the primary function of these DNS servers is the translation of human memory domain names and host names into the corresponding numeric internet protocol, that is IP address. Okay, so the secondary function of DNS is to recognize a namespace of the internet. Okay, so use it to identify the locate computer system and resource on the internet. Okay, the DNS software is very much helpful in industries. Okay, so if you are connecting 100 and 200 systems in a by using LAN. Okay, so you can easily identify their systems by using DNS, right? So IP address, they can easily provide a IP address, and also they can easily find out the systems, and they can easily track your system also. Okay, and what is web scraping with Python? Okay, what is web scraping? Let's see. So web scraping with Python. Web scraping is a general term for techniques involving automating the gathering of data from a website. Okay, so we can fetch the data from someone's website without connecting your browser and searching their websites. Okay, so you can use Python queries, and you can easily access someone's websites, web pages data. You can fetch their data also. Okay, so uh, if you go with Flipkart and Amazon, some of the websites, okay, some of other websites can calculate their prices. Okay, for example, if I want to buy a phone, okay, so I want to compare the prices in Flipkart and Amazon. Okay, some of the external websites, they have given the data, how much value is greater than Amazon and how much value is greater than Flipkart. Okay, so in such websites, they are using web scraping. Okay, they are using web scraping, and they fetch the prices from Amazon to, and also they can fetch the prices from Flipkart. Okay, then uh, they store the prices into some variables, and then they process it and gives the results. Okay, so mainly the web scraping is using for price calculation, and some of the company easily fetch your profile from Facebook, and also linked what is that, Nakri. Okay, so they can easily fetch your mobile number and your data. Okay, okay. So by using web scraping, right? And in this section, we will learn how to use Python to conduct web source scraping tasks. Okay, such as downloading images. We can also download the images and information of a website, and also we can fetch the headings, titles, and what data have they have uploaded, or they have the website has. We can easily scrap using web scrap, right? So in order to web scrap with Python, need to understand the basic concepts of how a website works. Okay, so when a browser loads a website, the user gets to see what is known as the front end, right? So if you are go with web application and Windows application and also gaming applications and Android applications, we have two sides. One is front side and back side. That is front end and back end. As usually, front end is a HTML. Okay, so HTML and back end we have some programs like JS, Java, JavaScript, Java, PHP, and you can also use C Sharp and .NET. And in this course, we are using Python Django. Okay, Django framework. We are using Django framework to scrap or to develop our web pages. Okay, that is our backend program, and the front end is as usual HTML. Okay, so yeah, and you can see here. So this is your HTML code and your system, and this is the Wikipedia page. Okay, so the web scraping is scraping your web page's original HTML code into your Python. Okay, it can easily grab your HTML codes from like Wikipedia web page. Okay, so I'll show something, and some of them already know, and each website. Okay, so I'll go with Wikipedia. Or I just search uh, my channel. Okay, search circuit Tamil. I'll show the HTML codes. Okay, and this is my channel, right? So I'll show the HTML code. Okay, so you can right click, and we have some options here. One is inspect and view page source. Okay, so I'm gonna give view page source. Okay, and this is the HTML codes for this page. Okay, so you can grab entire HTML codes. Okay, you can grab entire HTML codes for this page by using web scraping. Okay, and also we have one more option, that is inspect. Okay, so in the inspect, you can clearly see here, this is the your HTML page. Okay, this is your HTML codes, right, for this page. Okay, so and I'm gonna click this. Okay, so yeah, so this option is using to you can easily see the CSS codes, right? And yeah, and this is for Google, this is for the header page, right? And some deep classes here and script also here. Okay, you can easily fetch your HTMLs, and you can see what HTML codes are they have used, okay, by using inspect, and every browser has inspect view, okay, and this is for purely it helps to developers, and this is your CSS file, okay. You can change here, like I'm gonna give this is block, right? Which one is, yeah, you can click here, you can find the color, okay, and that's all. Okay, this is your CSS, and this is my body and the classes. I'm gonna change color. Heading one font size is 14, so I'm going to change this. You can see clear. I'm going to give 200. So the heading size is changing, right? 12. Okay, you can see the heading, and this is our CSS file. This is not our CSS file. This is for the this page, right? This the CSS for this page, and you can work with here, and this the changes are temporary and it won't affect the server, okay. So you can just check your CSS and HTML codes in here, okay. Then, and the web scraping easily grab entire HTML from the page and returns to you, okay. So then after we can grab what data or what path we want, okay. So if you want to grab this image, okay, so you have to call here, okay. So you want to, where is it, this div class, this to for entire, okay, style id, which ones, okay. So here if you want to grab this header file, you can see here they have declared as h1 or h2, like or they are giving some IDs for calling, okay. So I'm going to find h1, okay. So you can see here, no, yeah, yeah, this is your head, okay. And you can give CSS for these tags separately, okay. And also you can use these HTML tag to grab your particular text, okay. You can grab the particular text using HTML tags, right? So the main things we need to understand, okay. So some of the websites have not uploading for web scraping, okay. So if you are trying to grab that kind of web pages 2 or more times, they can simply block your id means they can easily block your system IP, that's all, okay. So first we have to check the web page is allowing your web scraping or wrong. After that, you can scrap any items you want, you can scrap from that website. Okay, so here main things we need to understand. First one is rules of web scraping and limitations. Okay, some web pages give some limitations. Okay, you have to access some kind of data on their websites. Okay, so they have some limitations and basic HTML and CSS. Okay, so and do you all know about HTML and CSS? I think everyone should know that.
Little bit, sir.
Okay, so that's enough. So we have basic HTML and CSS for web scraping, and uh, first we'll see what are the rules of web scraping. Okay, so always be respectful and try to get permission to scrap. Okay, we have to send the request for the web pages. Okay, so we have to send a request to the web pages for scrapping. Okay, sometimes they give access, sometimes they won't. Okay, so the respectful and try to get permission to scrap is more important. Okay, and do not bombard a website with a scrapping request. Okay, so if you are giving two or more requests continuously, they are simply block your IP. You can't access their website in another time. Okay, so otherwise your IP address may be blocked. So be aware that websites change often, meaning your code could go from working to totally broken. Okay, so from one day to the next. So pretty much every web scraping project of interest is a unique and custom job. So try your best to generalize the skills learned here, right? The limitations of web scraping. In general, every website is unique, right? So which means every web scraping script is unique. You have to write your web scrap for each website. So that's why they are giving like this. In general, every website is unique, which means every web scraping script is unique. Okay, so a slight change for update to a website may completely break your web scraping script, right? Yeah. So web scraping with Python. So main front end components of a website. These are HTML, CSS, and JS. HTML for your web page looks, and CSS for making font colors and border colors and your size. Okay, and JS for your graphical purpose. So if you want to show some message box, and if you want to graphics your website like these kind of things will make your web page is a dynamic web page. Okay, so the JS scripts, that is JavaScript scripts, is used to make your website as a dynamic. Okay, so I'll stop here. Okay, so and by tomorrow we will see on simple HTML code. Okay, and this class is for only web server introduction, right? So by tomorrow we'll see a simple HTML code for uh, just knowing purpose or just a refresh purpose, right? So after that, when we'll go with Django. Okay, so uh, between Django we have some 4 and 5 topics. Okay, after that we'll go with Django. Okay, so in that period, we will see some HTMLs and CSS and JS also. Okay, so we will see 50% of HTML, CSS, and JS. You can easily grow up your skills, and you can easily develop your web pages. Okay. So thank you. We'll meet tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.